Experience the excitement. Right here. Right here on traxxfm.
Good morning. It is What Matters right here on Trax Momentum. Calling you with you as always for today, though, Wednesday, February 26th, looking into a current hot topic that is being faced by all of us Malaysians. We're talking about the political as well as the leadership uncertainty when it comes to the administration of our beautiful country. Yeah, such has been the highlight for the past few days. And here on today's What Matters, I've got the topic on current political landscape, the economic impact. So we're going to take a look at that with my special guest today. But first up, we have gone live on Facebook. If you'd like to join us there, we are at traxxfm Official on Facebook. And if you have a question, comments, feel free to type it under the comment section for our guest today. So join us at traxxfm Official on Facebook. Yeah. For now, we are also live on air as always for today's What Matters. Without any further ado, welcoming into the studios of traxxfm my guest today, Associate Professor Dr. Nunadli Rizwan Shah Muhammad Dali, who is with the Economic as well as Business Faculty of University of Science Islam Malaysia. Prof, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Okay.
Good morning.
And thank you so much for coming in to talk about this particular topic. Political uncertainty has been on us ever since late last week. Yeah. Now, of course, a little bit calmer after, of course, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad was appointed as the interim Prime Minister. At least we know that for sure. To begin our discussion from the economic perspective, yeah, what has been so far the most crucial impact as this situation has played out so far?
Yeah, if you look at the, it's just like a knee jerk reaction. You know? If you a doctor want to test like if your knee is okay, then we actually we call it knock your knee.
Right.
Then your knee will jerk, right? So basically on Monday we have a knee jerk reaction because of the political uncertainty of this. I call it the political drama, I can say that. So basically what we see is that in the market, for example, the Bursa Malaysia is actually is swept out about 43.4 billion in a single day. That is what we call it, what a knee-jerk reaction. But the day after that we can see that on yesterday and also today. I mean, the market has reacted to the news. All right, and then we actually we can see that there's a rebound yesterday, and also we see that the Bursa Malaysia at first it actually has a what we call it the open very low,
right?
But now it's actually has exceeded the yesterday closing. So I think this is actually a temporary measure for getting what I call it a shock. Okay, so people are uncertain of what is going on in with the political situation. So that's why we can see that on Monday, right? So people start selling all the stocks and shares and stuff because they want to see what is actually happening and what is the direction of the country. If we have no what you call it government actually in what call it in operation, right? So that's. The impact is that when you don't have any cabinets, you will have whatever policy that is being, has been
in place
will be carried on. But for the new policy, we still need to see whether, because there is no cabinets, ministers and all that, so there will be no, policies will be, I can say that, can be developed.
Right, for sure, right? I mean, I think maybe that's not also the immediate concern also.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Immediate concern, of course, being, the fact that we have no cabinet. Yeah. But members of parliament are still there.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, they are undergoing that one by one, interview with Yang di-Pertuan Agong, right?
Yes.
As we speak, the second day of the second batch, I guess you can call it MPs. Earlier on the television, we can see the arrivals of most or many of the MPs actually on a particular bus. So knee-jerk reaction, as you were saying, Doctor.
It's actually panic selling on the first day.
The first day, there was some panic selling there, and then since then, the Bursa has rebounded. Right, and also, how do you foresee it to be at the moment? I mean, no major news, no major announcements for the time being until I personally find maybe until later today in the evening or maybe the night hours.
Or maybe tomorrow.
Or maybe tomorrow, like I was saying. So what do you expect from the market in this sort of unpredictable situation where not much is going on? Will there be much liquidity at all? I'm thinking probably the answer to that would be no.
Okay.
But what's your perspective?
Well, for me myself, if I'm actually looking and waiting for the the news coming out.
Right.
So because whatever the market is actually based on the if you studied finance, where we have the efficient market hypothesis. Basically, we are looking at the when we have a very efficient market, so all the information will be actually absorbed by the market. In a very fast manner. So basically, we are now actually waiting for the information. So that's the thing. So the market will react to the information. Once we get the information. So in terms of whether we are in a weak form of the efficient market hypothesis or semi-strong, strong form, but I believe that we are still in the semi-strong efficient market hypothesis, which is we will react upon the information that will be released. But this thing we all uncertain whether what will happen because. But I believe that even we have they will make the decision, right? The Yang Deputon Agong will make the decision, and then they will have a new cabinet, and all that. So the market will react towards the news
once that is released.
Yeah.
Right. In the meantime, like you were saying, in that hypothesis that you were saying, so what is likely going to happen? In between, yes.
In between,
yes.
In between, there will be I believe that will be something that we are not sure. So you don't know where's the direction. At the moment, the market is actually downtrending. So we have I see that many stimulus being trying to be implemented tomorrow, for example, to boost the market, and then also the monetary policy by the central bank, for example, they have done the increase. They reduced the OPR by 0.25 basis point last year. This year, early January, 25 basis point. So basically, there are a lot of things that are going on that actually trying to improve the market.
Right.
But at the moment, we are still, looking at this direction. Where would be the direction? Because there are a lot of things that we like to see. Because if we are going to have this, the stimulus,
right,
the economic stimulus, which is to be scheduled tomorrow.
Right.
So that actually to overcome the problem of coronavirus. This is also another thing which is impacted our economy.
Correct.
Right. So basically, we have to have this government in place.
Okay. Now, the irony towards all of it is that you touched upon this, right, on a more sort of current term picture. Right?
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a stimulus package that was to be unveiled.
Yeah.
Right. For tomorrow.
Supposedly tomorrow. Yeah. Okay.
Correct. And this was actually initially to, like you were saying as well, to counter the coronavirus COVID-19 situation and the impact on the economy that's already been felt around the world and for Malaysia as well.
Yeah.
Albeit, I think, to some extent, not as dramatic as some particular countries, right?
Yeah.
But so that is uncertain whether the announcement of the stimulus package will actually continue, or do you feel that it will, since that we do have an acting prime minister and it is, of course, also Tun M?
I don't know, but my hope is that should be the stimulus package to overcome the coronavirus problems.
Right.
So there are several sectors that are being affected. For example, the hotel industry, the airline industry, and then also the manufacturing industry. So they need the stimulus package to boost their income or their operational activities. So my personal opinion is that should be a stimulus package. But we don't know when, because probably they are still thinking about the current problem situation in the political arena. But and then whether the interim prime minister can actually announce it,
right?
Okay, in later tomorrow afternoon. So I'm not really sure about that.
Okay. Okay, so that begets the question, what will happen to the package is either revoked or put on hold.
I believe it will be put on hold.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So, well, at least in a particular perspective, So I think the market also is more, in a way, anxious about the actual situation more so than the economic stimulus package.
But when you look at the what call it the stimulus, it can come into aspect. One is from the fiscal, which is from the government expenditure and so on. And then the other one can come from the central bank. So central bank is actually, I believe that they are actually monitoring this current situation very, very seriously, and probably they can actually look at the whether they can actually increase or decrease the money supply. So that's another what I call it way of how actually they can actually boost the economy.
Okay, hold that thought. We'll just take a quick break and then we're going to come back immediately with the second segment of What Matters Today. Stay tuned.
traxxfm, playing your favorite music 24/7. Experience the excitement right here. Right here on traxxfm.
Welcome back to Trax Momentum. It's Kong Yu with you on What Matters this hour with my special guests today in the studios of traxxfm, Associate Professor Dr. Nodadli Rizwan Shah Muhammad Dali, who joins me for our discussion on the economic impact on the current political landscape in Malaysia. More question marks, I think, than anything else. We're talking about the stimulus package that was originally scheduled to be announced by our Prime Minister tomorrow, February the 27th. In light of the uncertainty, there is the general feel that this will probably just be put on hold, at least momentarily, in the short term. But here's the thing. Quick question, though. Has the market taken into account, built into the market, the stimulus package?
Yeah, I believe so, because the news already been out there.
That's right.
Okay, definitely the market actually, you can see there are some counters, for example, counters which is related to hotels, tourism, and so on, has been actually moving upward because of the investors already anticipating that the stimulus package, will actually be given to certain
industries and sectors. Right.
So I believe the information has been incorporated, and we can see the movement of these certain counters moving up.
Okay. So truth be told, and in practical terms, maybe that isn't really the concern of in this case the Bursa in the short term, right? It's more the uncertainty. I think that's more than anything else on this. Any further thoughts to this before we move on?
Not really.
Okay. All right. There are a lot of other issues. Now we're going to take a broader perspective to things as well. And feel free to also comment. Those of you who are live with us on Facebook now. Patricia says good morning, as well as Shirley Key, good morning, presenter, as well as Professor, and everybody who is tuned in. Feel free to post your questions there and join us if you're not already live with us. We are at traxxfm official. Now, on a bigger perspective, right, there's been just generally a lot of instability overall. The main one concerning the world at large, of course, the COVID-19 situation, still, I guess, is still a big concern overall. We've got the slowdown in China, the origin of the disease itself and the virus, but we've got the possible pandemic possibilities in international countries. Particularly, I think, in my own opinion as well, with the more colder countries. Because the virus does thrive a bit longer in the cold
situation.
Right, not so much in the humid and also hot weather that we have. That's why I think in a lot of the Southeast Asian countries, we see it under much control. So, but outside of that, we've also had political uncertainty overall, not just for us in Malaysia. And on top of that, the overall concerns about cost of living, unemployment, and also the inflation. What can we say? What can we do? And are there any areas that we can actually, in a way, give more hope to all of us in Malaysia at the moment? What's your feeling?
Well, as we mentioned before, okay, because the coronavirus has affected many, what you call it, life in China, and also now it's in Iran, in South Korea,
Correct.
and so on.
Yep.
And it actually has outspread. I mean, not only in China, but also the other countries as well. And also it actually it affected the, what you call it, the global, what you call it, investors. And you can see that Dow Jones has very, we call it, volatile market at the current situation. It goes down by 1,000 points in I think 2 days ago, right? And then also the gold market has been shooting up for until 1,600 over. So which is actually saying that people are trying to change from the stocks or the towards gold, as because gold is actually more stable in terms of when there are we call it
crises and uncertainties.
Uncertainties of that.
Right.
Right. So talking about that in a global situation, the global economic situation, I think we are not alone here, facing this, what I call it, economic problems, or like, I don't want to say it's crisis, but economic downtrend at the moment. But it's actually being faced by many other countries also, and also because of this coronavirus, and which is not really good for the economic, okay, at the particular moment. But from the SARS experience in 2003, okay, we can see that when the SARS outbreak, we also have some problems with our, what call it, for Bursa, for example.
Right.
And then we can see that it takes about 2 quarters for us to be actually to rebound, okay, and then to grow at a very fast pace. So from reading from the past history, so I believe that we will take about 2 quarters or more, right? Probably the fastest will be 2 quarters. So probably in July we will have a better, what I call it, economic condition, and we'll have a better market, and also maybe at that particular time, it actually will be a growing economy.
Just a thought that has come to my mind, right? Do you feel that in light of the current uncertainties, obviously the knee-jerk response, investor confidence is shaken, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel that Malaysia is in good standing overall in terms of that investor confidence?
Okay, investors' confidence has been, has some problems. Okay, we have problems since 2018, right? So the Bursa has actually, we can see that the foreign investment has been pulling out money from the market, okay, since 2018, and keep on pulling out money. But I believe once we have our political stability and our, momentum, okay, the money will be coming, the investment from the international will be becoming pouring back into Malaysia. And also we also have to focus on the local, okay, the local fund. So the local fund can come from the private, from consumers, but we are not that, the money is not really big. But,
right.
But if we many people invest in the in this current situation, probably because the market is actually will always go up and down and then up again. So probably this is the best time, okay, for us to invest, but not don't put everything, don't sell your house and everything and then put your money in the market, right? So basically, maybe it's the best time for you to invest, okay, at this particular moment. Probably the shares are very cheap in this particular moment. All right, so and then after we have like a good direction, probably after maybe July, okay, after we have managed coronavirus and so on, with the stimulus package and all that, so probably we will have a very good economy, and then at that time particular moment, we can see that our investment will grow in a very fast manner. Okay,
so this next few months, ensuing few months, could actually be a good bargain hunting or opportunities for people who are looking for investments. That's one. And generally, of course, the whole idea is to spur also private consumption. Although, like you were saying, there are certain limitations when it comes to that, when it comes to spending, especially on a personal basis, and also for the companies which are thriving in Malaysia at the moment, the local companies, that is. Yeah. So we're going to take a quick break. On return from it, my final segment today with my guest today, Associate Professor Dr. Nuradli Rizwan Shah Muhammad Dali from University of Science Islam Malaysia. Back in a few moments, right here on Tracks.
105.3 Kuantan Pahang.
Welcome back to What Matters for today, Wednesday, February the 26th, 2020. It's Kong Yu with you on the program, talking about the current political landscape and the economic impact towards what's been happening, what needs to be resolved ASAP as well. With me on the panel today, Dr. Nuradli Rizwan Shah Muhammad Dali, who is an associate professor from the Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Science Islam Malaysia. USIM, right? And we're talking about, Doctor, the investor confidence issues like that. This is a pretty interesting comment. Let's look at this question, by Neil on the fact that he says most of the political parties are based in religion and also race, which I would have to say, not most, maybe it's not the key word, but many other parties are like that. Now, what will happen if these parties in question boycott in actually helping the economy's growth? Can the other parties make up? And what's your opinion on this?
Okay, what's the question?
The question is that, should certain parties actually say, we have enough of governing in Malaysia, we're not going to participate anymore in the political landscape. They withdraw themselves, including, I'm sure some leaders may be involved as well. How would that affect our economy, and whether the other the other parties can actually make up for this lost manpower, lost energy in sustaining the Malaysian economy?
Well, it's a very difficult question. So because it's actually politics is not my my area, but we're looking at economy. Basically, with the existence of the government, is actually can be help the economy by two ways, as I mentioned before. okay, by formulating policies, okay, by Keynesian theory, right? The Keynesian, right? So basically, they will stimulate economy through government spending, okay, to to promote consumption and also investment, right? So basically, that is one of these function of a government in economy, right? So and the other thing is that through monetary policy, which is by increasing the interest rate or reducing the interest rate,
Right.
so to increase the money supply or reduce the money supply in the market. All right. So in relation to this, what you call it, current situation, I'm going just to go on general, what you call it, not into specific into this, what will happen, what would be, withdraw or whatever. So there should be a government in place, okay, to ensure that our economy will be paced, okay, towards the maybe high growth nation, right? So whether, okay, the government is actually, I'm not really sure whether it's politically race based or whatever. Okay, it must be actually the aim is actually to stimulate the economic growth.
Right.
Okay, through spending.
So
Through
number
government
one,
spending.
the government needs to be in
place.
proper order.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the keyword.
Number two, then only a government is then able
To what you call it, to do whatever things that actually can stimulate the economic.
Right.
Right. So two things. Right?
Okay. So I think maybe on the third particular perspective. So once that is in place, and this is probably a good fundamental thought and an idea that we can close with in this particular segment. What can we do? You and I as individuals.
Okay, we have to work as we have to work, okay, as normal. We have to work harder, okay, because we are the one that actually be we call it has to monitor to support our family and whatever, right? So we have to put food on the table and so on. So we have to continue on to be working and then also to earn income. And then the whatever is happening with this, we call it the not within our capability, because we don't have the capability right now.
Right.
Unless it's actually there is we call it it's time for us to vote.
Right, snap elections.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right. So basically, at the moment, so we have to work hard, and then we have to make sure that our we put food on the table. Then it will be okay. So and then we have to also invest for our future, right? So basically, that's the thing, right? So, but my advice for this, we call it this, whether it's actually a new government or the existing government will be taking place, that okay, they need to ensure that okay, the necessity of this rakyat should be taken care. Then only you can go up another level, which is these wants. Okay, which is removing the difficult parts, and then only you look at the luxurious items or with embellishment, right? So that is my advice to this, what I call it, to the new or maybe form government, so that they see that they have to settle these basic needs, okay, such as food,
Right.
accommodation, education, health, and so on, which has been done previously, right? So whoever, okay, will taking the lead, okay, they'll have to do the same.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so the continued issues that have been facing and raised for the past 4 or 5 years, right? So more measures need to be put into those to upgrade, to tackle the cost of living, rising cost of living issue, and unemployment,
I do agree.
housing, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so those on the overall basis that once everything is back on track, that's what we need to focus on as a country, right? An individual. Doctor, you were saying essentially work hard as well as continue to focus and give energy towards not just our personal and private endeavors, but also overall to the building of the nation. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, before we let you go, Doctor, any final thoughts to share with our listeners for today?
Just be happy, all right? So, and then maybe this is a time for us to actually look at the what call it, to the investment that might be profitable for us. So,
Okay.
so we can keep on searching. Okay, good fundamental companies, right? But having a hit during this crisis, okay, that is probably the good counters that we can actually look at.
Right. So on a positive, more optimistic note, right? So
Yeah.
it could be a good time for bargain hunting.
Yep.
Okay. Well, on that note, wrapping up today's What Matters. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. If you've been live with us on Facebook, we appreciate that as well. And do share the link when we go off live in a few moments. Meanwhile, big thanks to my guest today, Dr. Nur Adli Rizwan Shah. Muhammad Dali, excuse me, Associate Professor from the Faculty of Economics and also Business, USIM, University of Science Islam Malaysia. Doctor, thank you.
Thank you too.
Yep.
Okay.
For coming in. And thank you for joining us on the segment today. All of you who are listening in as well as on Facebook Live with us as we sign out for the segment. I'll be back after the brief noon news updates with more on momentum. For now, keep it right here on traxxfm as we bring you latest updates from the domestic front and more right here only on traxxfm. Good morning.